All right, welcome to Tuna Whistles Detroit Lions free agency day one. Obviously, I know that if I record this, there's going to be another free agent signing that is going to happen, and I'll make another video if it comes to that. But the Detroit Lions had an active day, and it didn't start really active until they re-signed Graham Glasgow, which Graham Glasgow is a great re-sign. 3 years, $20 million. It really doesn't cost much for the Detroit Lions to re-sign Graham Glasgow, because when you think about it, Jonah Jackson, he got close to $20 million for the price of Mr. Graham Glasgow for 3 years. It cost 1 year of Jonah Jackson's salary. So that was a good signing. And obviously the Detroit Lions were not going to pay Jonah Jackson. He is the weak link on that offensive line. If you looked at the stats, we went through it before. I was trying to pull it up, but I couldn't find it. But all in all, when you look at the stats, he was the weak link. In the pass protection, he was the weak link. He was great in run blocking, Jonah Jackson was, but Graham was better all around. And I think that's something that you have to look at. Over the course of the day, obviously nothing was happening until 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That's when things started to happen for the Detroit Lions. They signed Marcus Davenport, and now Marcus Davenport isn't something you shake a stick at and say, this guy is elite. By no means is he an elite guy. By no means. But what Marcus Davenport is going to do is he has upside. He has to stay healthy to reach that upside. And the deal that they gave him, which is $6.5 million base salary, could go up to $10.25 million if he meets the bonuses. That's a critical number, and I think it's a good barometer. It's a good shake at a stick for Brad Holmes, because I really don't think he's done with free agency. I know a lot of Lions fans are like, wait, whoa. Why aren't we going after Danielle Hunter? Why didn't we go after Brian Burns? And why didn't we go after this guy? If you've seen what some of these edge rushers are going for, you're going to have to be paying Aiden Hutchinson that in a few years. So it's very important to kind of stagger yourself. But I do think they missed the boat on Danico Autry. I think that would have been a good signing. I wasn't one of these guys that was talking about Christian Wilkins or any of those guys, because as I said yesterday in the podcast, I said, look, Grover Stewart from the Indianapolis Colts, he'd be a great one. Kenny Moore from the Indianapolis Colts, he'd be a great one. If they're able to get Danielle Hunter, that'd be a great one. Darius Williams, Chidobe Awuzie, all those guys could be meaningful guys. And I know a lot of Lions fans were looking for a cornerback like L'Jarius Sneed or whatever the case may be, and L'Jarius Sneed is still out there. It's just a matter of time. And there's a lot of moves that can be made in the coming days and weeks. But the Detroit Lions did trade for a cornerback. They traded for Carlton Davis out of Tampa Bay. Now, the issue with Carlton Davis, I'll give you the 411 before I get to the draft pick compensation, which you've seen on the board. But the issue with Carlton Davis is, one, he's got to stay healthy. And the problem with Carlton Davis is he is a physical corner. He is very on the ball. And so when you get a physical corner, sometimes they're going to get hurt more often than not. And Carlton Davis has the potential to be a really, really good player for the Detroit Lions. I think he could be a cornerback one if he stays healthy. That's the major thing, if he stays healthy. But all in all, Carlton Davis is it's a good trade. I mean, what were you going to get with that 24th third rounder? You know what I'm saying? Like the probability of you getting a starting cornerback with that third round pick was slim to none. And Carlton Davis, you're going to get a 6th rounder in 2024 and 2025. It's they basically, you didn't lose a lot. You got two draft picks, and then I know they're 6th rounders, but 6th rounders have really paid off for Brad Holmes. And when you look at some of the stats with Carlton Davis in man coverage last year. Now, primarily the Buccaneers did not run a man coverage scheme, so take this with a grain of salt, but the Detroit Lions do run a man coverage scheme. Carlton Davis in man coverage last year per PFF, 60% completion percentage allowed, no TDs allowed in man, 75.1% passer rating when targeted, at 68.8 PFF grade. And then you look at this, Carlton Davis from week 12 onwards in 2023, 247 coverage snaps, 46 targets, 26 receptions allowed, 330 yards, 2 interceptions, 8 forced incompletions, and a passer rating when targeted was 66.2. It's interesting because I know these are moves that the Detroit Lions fans weren't really thinking of when the free agency started. I heard a lot of people saying L'Jarius Sneed. I heard a lot of people thinking Danielle Hunter. I know I had people going Christian Wilkins, and that's fine. Like, you're able to have your opinion, and I wanted them to get Danico Autry. I think that would have been a good signing, but all in all, I think I know for a fact that the Detroit Lions are interested in DJ Reader. I know for a fact. And I think if they got DJ Reader, that changes the whole complexion of this free agency class. The whole complexion of this free agency class. Because then it opens up the opportunity for you to go get a corner, maybe like a Stephon Gilmore. It opens up the opportunity for you to possibly make another trade. There's so many things that can happen with the acquisition of DJ Reader, and he's one of the most underappreciated players in the game. But I caution Lions fans. I know you wanted the big move, right? You wanted the big move. I think that, we're, as Lions fans, we are chasing stuff that doesn't really matter. Glover Quinn, when they signed Glover Quinn, wasn't a big move. When we got Trey Flowers, that was the best edge rusher on the market. Didn't go good. The best slot corner on the market that year was Justin Coleman. Didn't go good. And Jamie Collins was a linebacker they picked up. It didn't go good. The Lions have had more success with these guys, like the under the radar signings. And I think that the Marcus Davenport could be a good move. Obviously, there's more moves to come in the coming days. But all in all, like, I know Brett Holmes isn't done. That's number one. This is one little piece of pie. And the ways things, shook out, the way that money was being thrown around, and it's fine and dandy, but I think Brad Holmes is taking the careful approach, because what this does, you didn't see the 49ers make a big move. They got Leonard Floyd. Like, is Leonard Floyd one of those key acquisitions that are going to help the 49ers win a Super Bowl? No. But what you're seeing throughout the 4 teams that were in the conference championship games was they're kind of cautious in their approach. And I know the Detroit Lions have more cap room to use. They also have players to extend. And I know for a fact, when you're talking about a general manager like Brad Holmes, he's very calculated in his decisions. And as a general manager, your best bet to be a good general manager is not to be overreactive, but to be reactive in the right approach. And what a lot of fans struggle with, and this is a problem with fans in general. I see it all the time with the Detroit Red Wings. I see it with the Detroit Lions. I see it with the Tigers. You listen to your sports talk radio station, 97 Ticket. You hear it all the time. They're critiquing moves that they don't even know what they're talking about. I'm willing to let Brett Holmes do what he's going to do, because this is only day one of free agency. I remember Red Wings fans clamoring, why didn't we trade for Alex DeBrincat at the draft? They traded for him 12 days later. So this is a process that's going to play out. Brett Holmes is a smart general manager. He's going to make moves that help the team win. I think his track record speaks for itself. His draft record. Now, his free agency has been a little bit, and I don't like the fact that they haven't addressed the kicker situation. But again, I can't be on other people saying you can't be mad at one day of free agency and then me be mad. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to be all up in arms about day one of free agency. I know these are underwhelming moves, especially like the Marcus Davenport signing. That's a shot in the dark kind of thing. But all in all, like, re-signing Graham Glasgow, that's a good re-sign. And trade for Carlton Davis, I think that could be a really good win for the Detroit Lions. And I'm not going to sit here and overreact to day one of free agency. It's just not going to happen. And if you're looking for that on YouTube, go somewhere else, because I'm telling you right now, It's day one of free agency. We have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. We have no idea what's going to happen Wednesday when free agency opens. We have no idea what's going to happen Thursday or Friday or Saturday or 2 weeks from now. So I can only speak to what I know now. And what I know now is, yes, it's a little bit underwhelming, but yes, Brad Holmes has more to do, and I think that he is going to do that. So if you're a Lions fan, stay calm, stay patient. It's going to be okay. I know these aren't the moves you anticipated, but like I said, we seen Chauncey Gardner-Johnson last year get signed on my birthday on March 19th, and that was a week after free agency opened. So I'm just not going to sit here and make these broad overreaction claims that a lot of these YouTubers or radio hosts are going to do all over the place. It's day one. There's a lot of things that can happen in the next couple days. I think that Brad Holmes is ready for it. So we'll see what happens in day two. And if there's something that breaks, I'll bring you more information as we go along. You'll usually get these at the end of the day. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Subscribe for more Lions content. We're going to have Red Wings content, Pistons content, Tigers content, and more on Between the Whistles Detroit. So stay tuned to that. And thank you for watching Between the Whistles Detroit. I'm Joe Chapman. I'll see you in the next video.